into it. All right. Right. Once again, thank you very much for finding time to join. So we're going to quickly review the PowerPoint presentation, and then we'll spend a lot of time. Kindly rename your name so that we know who is attending. I see somebody logged in as HP. So make sure that you have indicated your name correctly. All right, so let's get started. So and if you're not, kindly mute your mic so that we don't interfere with the team. George, Zadok, can you mute your mics? Thank you. All right, let's get started. So today, again, we are reviewing the ascending, descending, and then change of direction, because this is a precursor to what we'll be discussing next week, which will be valid setups and setups that you should get away from. So let me go straight to the presentation. So this is a screenshot that I took from the charts. As you can see, the charts move like this normally. They move like this. So I've tried to also draw it using a line graph so that you're able to see. So for you to be able to grasp the ascending pattern, normally you have to have in mind two impulses that are going in the same direction. And for ascending, the impulses must be on an uptrend, meaning the market should have changed direction. And then now the second impulse, if it was going down, it should have changed direction that now is going up. And then the second impulse is what now used to compare with the previous one. So in this particular case, the market is going up. So when the market is going up, what we look for is ascending. You can only ascend when the market is going up. That's why down here I've said uptrend. So the first impulse of this uptrend starts right here where I have this previous low and ends here where I have the previous high. As you can see, the candles came like this. This was the lowest point. And then this was the highest point before this counter trend. Meaning this market came like this, just like I've drawn here. It came up, then it went down to form the lowest point, then it went up to form the highest point, then it came down. So mimicking this. So this was the end of what I call impulse A. And then the market broke this high. When it breaks a high, it creates a new impulse and created impulse B. So it created impulse B. But notice these two candles, this green candle, the first one, is the one that broke the previous impulse and created. People are still coming now when our class has started, but we will not be going back. So I think they'll just have to look for the recording. That's fine. So as you can see, these two candles broke this last high. And what happens is when they break, notice that the wick of the green candle, the one that broke, stays in impulse A. So normally that is this one of the signs of ascending pattern. As the sign, kindly mute your mic, please. Sorry, I have to deal with some people are coming late. Get back to the chat. Let's get back. Yeah, so as you have noticed, mute your mic, please. Mute. If you're not speaking, please mute. You're interfering with the class.
Okay, Eliza, kaa hapo chini. Unajua nataka kwenda kuandika. Nishukie hapa karibu na mlango. Yes. Yes.
You can just mute it from your side, coach.
You are going to mute all. And just mute all.
Anyway, sorry for that. I think we are all muted now. So normally, this green candle broke. It broke this previous impulse and created a new impulse, what we're calling impulse B. So for you to note a sign of an ascending pattern, then the second candle is usually the one that confirms to you when it creates a new high, but instead of staying up, notice that it comes back down. It actually comes back down. So meaning it is spending a lot of time in the previous impulse. As a matter of fact, it actually closed back inside the previous impulse because this one went up and this one came down, like a bearish candle back into the previous impulse. So normally when you see this right here, you see it went up but came down here. When you see this, it's a sign that the market is about to turn. And that's why over here, it comes and breaks. That's why I say I call this candle breaks this low. And that normally for us signals event that we need to prepare for an opportunity, which you will now see from next week. So first, we see this ascending pattern. So the next thing we usually expect is the market is going to turn and break our current low. So ideally, what happens is what I've done in the green. The market normally breaks. You will place your order somewhere here. It comes back and tags you in and goes all the way down. So you'll, depending on your risk appetite, you'll be taking profit as it goes down. All right, so that's ascending. So the descending pattern is the opposite. So descending pattern happens on a downtrend. The market normally is going down. So what happens again, as you can see here, there are two impulses that are created. So the impulse A and impulse B. So the market came like this, as you can see. And then it broke this low to create a new low. It broke this previous low to create a new low. So we have two impulses here. So again, as you can see from the candles, notice the way this candle breaks down, this green one, but forms a very big wick, meaning it is pushed all the way back. So this is impulse A, the one you can see, this is the high and this is the low. And this is impulse B, where I've written current high and current low. So the candle breaks down, but comes back all the way in. Normally, when you see this is what is called descending pattern. So what is expected is the market will turn and break going up. So as you have seen, like I've demonstrated this green, and you'll see in the charts, this market will come and break this. So once you see it breaking confidently, you'll place your order somewhere here. It will come back and tag you and go. So more like break and retest. So at this juncture, I want to jump straight into the charts because that's where we need to spend a lot of time so that you really understand, and then I'll open it at the end for questions and answers. So I'm going to share my screen for the chart. I'm going to stop this one so that we spend more time. I show you how you identify the patterns of the charts. All right, here we go. So today I'm using a different pair so that normally we look at two main pairs for this strategy. We are still backtesting additional pairs. So we have AUD USD. Today I'm using USD JPY, as you can see over here. I am using a little bit of a higher time frame, which is daily, because I really want you to grasp this. But when you go to now the real opportunity where you're backtesting and you're doing opportunities, please come down to the 1 hour, chart. So this is a USD JPY from November 2020, and I'll just be playing candle by candle so that you see how the patterns form. So we are going to first look at a descending pattern on this particular one. So this happened in late November before we cross over to this 2021. So let's carry on. So as you can see, the market was coming down, but it changed direction. Now it's going up. This is the current high. This is the current low. So let's see what happens. Now the market has changed direction slightly. If I can zoom in, you can see that this candle formed a wick, meaning it has come and broken this previous high. So what I do here is I just move this current high, and then I also mark where my previous high was. The reason why I'm doing this is so that you'll be able to see, you start noting whether we are ascending or not. So the first sign, as you can see, so where I've marked as my current high, that's the new impulse. Where I've marked as PH means previous high, that is the end of the previous impulse. Notice we started from here all the way here. So as you can see with this particular one, the market actually came back, but it is spending a lot of time in the previous impulse. So in this case, we are actually ascending. But normally we wait for the second candle after the one that breaks to confirm that. So let's see what happens. Yes. So this actually confirmed. The second candle actually does not even go higher. It actually forms a counter. So we are actually ascending at this particular point in time. See what happens. And then we have changed direction. So you have seen the first example where the market normally ascends, and then we come and change direction. So this particular change is what we call as a break without a wick. As you can see, the break happens. We told you that we'll be showing you the patterns and the different types of break you can get without a wick. So in this particular case, if you are going to be involved in this trade, then you'll be placing your trade at the most recent low. You will see that next week. So today I just want you to focus on, first you see the telltale signs that we are losing momentum by identifying the ascending pattern where the candles form, but they come back to the previous impulse. That shows you that there's a very high probability that the market may turn. It does not happen every day that when you see this, automatically it will turn. Sometimes it turns, sometimes it doesn't. In this particular day, it actually turned. So now my new low is here. And then just to mark so that we also don't lose track, my previous low, it has broken, is here. And my current high now moves here. Because if I go back, this candle does not, this one closes lower than this. So only these two are part of the new impulse now going down. All right, let's carry on. A new law. So if you had gotten involved in this trade, by now this will all be profits, because this candle here will have tagged you in. Counter trend, meaning now this is the end of our impulse as we are going down. Counter trend. Okay, now I want to pause here. As you have seen now, we are now descending. Remember here, we change direction. Now we are on a downtrend, and now we have created a new impulse going down. But notice what happened to the new impulse. It broke going down, but it came right back in. So let's just mark it now so that you see what I'm talking about. So this will be my previous law so that we don't lose track. Then this should be my new law. So as I said, for you to be able to monitor properly whether you are ascending or descending, you have to compare two impulses. So right here, we have changed direction. Now we are going down. And then we formed a new impulse. Notice that this candle came down, but went back in. And the second candle also stayed in this previous impulse, which is marked by the end here, which we are showing as previous law. So let's see what happened. Yeah, it went low again. But notice what happens. Even as it forms a new law, it still comes back. Look at the wick. It still comes back to, because this space here belongs to the previous impulse. It still comes back. So we are still descending. Yeah, so now we have stopped descending. And I wanted to share this example so you know the difference between when we are descending and when we're not ascending. And why are we not descending? This new candle formed a new law, and notice it never came back in because the end of the candle is right here. Our previous impulse is marked by this line. So this candle shows that we are not descending anymore. So that if you see this, if there's any change in the direction, then for this particular strategy, then you'll not be interested. Okay, so let's carry on. So now counter trend. New law. Now, sorry, I want to pause here again. Let me just take it back to here. Yeah. So I want to show you what happens after this particular candle. So if I play one more time, you notice that we came down. So we have created a new impulse. So my new law moves right down here. And then I have the previous low, this particular one. And then right now, my new high is right here. So sometimes to confirm, there are some people still waiting. Sorry, you'll have to bear with the people who just come in late. Let me just admit them so that we can continue. All right. Let us carry on. So sometimes to know exactly where your impulse has started, you need to hover the mouse so that you see where it starts and where it ends. So in this particular case, this one formed the new low. This low is at 102.99. I look at these figures up here. 102.995, and this one is 102.961. So this is 995, 961. So 961 is lower than 995. So only these two form part of the new impulse. And between these two, which one is higher? This one is 103.315, and this one is 103.316. So actually, the highest point, and I can zoom so you can see, is this candle that has a wick here. This one. All right. So we are seeing signs that we might be descending, but let's see what happened with the next candle. Yes, the next candle forms a new low, but notice it spends a lot of time in the previous impulse. So it has confirmed. It has confirmed that we are indeed descending. Sorry, I'm just dealing with the people who are coming late. All right, so it has confirmed that we are descending. So we continue. And now notice, we want to see if this formed a new low. So the low for it, this one is 102.605, and this one is 102.59. So we have formed a new low, but we have spent a lot of time in the previous. Our new high is right here in the previous impulse. So we are still descending. And bang, like I told you. So normally when you see that you are descending, there's a very high likelihood that the market will always change direction. Now over here we have changed direction, and now we are going to the upside. So now I want to stop the share a little bit so that I can show you now the other bit, which will be an ascending pattern. And then now probably we'll spend a little more time on the exercise that we have given you last week. And then we'll open it for question and answer. So let's see. We have just seen a descending pattern. Let's see now the opposite, which is an ascending pattern. Again, we're using AUD USD. So let's carry on. This is the current low, this is the current high. Let's see, I want to move a little faster. Yeah, so the market here changes direction. Notice what happens here. So this becomes a new high. This is the previous high right here. And our new low is all the way down here. But notice how these candles are formed. They broke up, but spent a lot of time. Look, the first candle broke up, spent time. Actually, it came back into the previous impulse, which is marked by this. The second candle also came back. So here, this is a sign that we are ascending. The market was going up. So we break up, but we are coming back into the previous impulse. So normally when you see this, you expect that the market will come and break this low, but we don't know. It's just a probability. Let's see what happens. Oh, it formed a new high. So we just carry on marking. So this, the highest point is all the way there. The lowest point is here. And our previous high is right here. So we will wait for the second candle to confirm whether we are still ascending. Yes. So this one confirmed that we are ascending, because not only does it go a little higher, it actually comes right back inside the previous impulse, which is marked by this PH, previous high. So let's see what happens. The market comes and turns. I want to show you one more example. Yeah, so again, our new high is here, and our new low is all the way down here. Let's see what happens. Our previous high. Yeah. So again, over here, as you have seen, we are ascending again, because the market went up, but we are spending a lot of time in the previous impulse. So the first two candles actually, we use this to confirm. So again, it forms a new high. So sometimes it's not guaranteed that it will turn. Like in this particular case, we expected that it will come and turn here, but it has just formed a new high. So we just, when the market happens, we just follow it and see what happens next. So this becomes the new high. This was the previous one. Let's see if I'll be able to finish this in 10 minutes. And then this is our new low. Otherwise, if it ends, you just log in again. All right. So we want to see when by the second candle if this is still ascending, because it has just formed a new high. Yeah, the second candle confirms, because look at the wick, it has come back into the previous impulse. So we are ascending. So we expect that this market will turn and break this low. Oh, instead of breaking, it has actually formed a new high. So we just follow it. So the previous high is right here, and our current low is here. But notice we are still ascending actually, because this one broke, and this one we are still spending a lot of time in there. So we have been ascending for a while. We are ascending down here. We are still ascending here. At some point, the market will turn. So let's see. So this is a small turn. Basically, it turned over here, changed direction, but this is what we call a rejection, because it changed direction, but it was pushed right in. But the second candle comes and fills it. So we have seen they are ascending here, and the market just comes here and turns. So very quickly, in the next, because I have 8 minutes before the end, I want to finish with the assignment for last week, and then I think we open it one more time to allow for open question and answers. Let me just share one more time. But now, based on the assignment that you are doing last week. All right. So here we are. I have shown you ascending patterns, descending patterns, but this is now based on what we were doing last week. Let me just see if there's anybody in the waiting room before we carry on very fast. There's no one in the waiting room. All right. So as you have seen, very quickly, if you notice, we are going down, but this market is spending a lot of time in the previous impulse. So this is impulse A, this yellow that you're seeing, this yellow to this head, and then this is impulse B. So we are going down, but we are spending a lot of time in the previous impulse. So we are descending. So most of the time, what you'd expect is the market will come back and break this highest point. So let's see what happens. This is the exercise you're doing of AUD/USD from 12th to July. So these are the ascending and descending patterns should have as shown in your assignment. So the first one should have happened right around here. That is on 12th of July. You should have in your charts. If you go back today, if you are revising, just note on 12th of July around noon, around here should have been your first place you should have marked for a descending pattern. So please, when you go back to revise, check again. Let's see what happens. It came and changed. So as I showed you here, descending, then you come and turn. I'm not going to be marking them. I just want to play it quickly. I'm also able to show you now the ascending on this same assignment. So this assignment are both descending pattern as well as ascending pattern. So the descending that you're seeing is right here. And as you have seen, it has come and changed direction here. So we'll also see an ascending somewhere up ahead. Okay, so let me pause a little bit. So here we change direction, but here we have formed a new impulse. But notice what is happening. So we formed a new impulse. This one broke, and these two candles, they're spending a lot of time in the previous impulse. So we are ascending. So in your assignment, around 13th of July at 5, you should have marked now this second part. So here we are descending, here we are ascending. I hope you're marking them, but later you can also go review this video because we are recording it, and then now you do your assignment properly. So let's carry on. We have 4 minutes. Let me pause. Hey, too much action. Yes. So as you can see, over here we are ascending, and normally when you ascend, you expect a break downwards, and that has actually been depicted here. So I want to stop there because the idea here was just to show you, and the idea is for you to go back and practice and practice and practice. I've shown you the critical signs of when the market is descending. So basically, descending, the market is on a downtrend, but we spend a lot of time in the previous impulse. So when the market is going down and you're descending, basically you're losing momentum. You're losing momentum going down. You expect the market to turn, just like it has turned over here. Over here, when the market is ascending, basically we are going up, but we are losing momentum going up. You expect the market to turn going downwards, as you're seeing right here. When it breaks this lowest point that over here, you can extend it like this, breaks it. So meaning the market turns and now it breaks this current low and the low goes all the way down. So I think so that we have a more meaningful discussion. I am probably, because we only have 2 minutes, I'm probably going to stop this, and then I'm going to create a new link so that we can just have general discussions where you can ask questions. Is that okay? So just log out and then log back in so that we have a fresh start of question and answer.